Okay, welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be part 2 of my eyeshadow palette declutter. If you want to know the background and how I'm sorting out these eyeshadow palettes and all of that good stuff, please make sure that you head over to part 1. I will link it in the description box, including the other parts. But definitely have a look at part 1 so you know the reason why I'm decluttering my eyeshadow palettes and where they're going. I am going to sell some of these on Depop and all of that good stuff. Anyway, check part 1, check my description box. All the information will be there. So this time we're going to be focusing on this second layer. The first video was the first layer, hence why you can see it's a little bit sparse. But this video is just going to be the second layer. So if you're interested in seeing how many eyeshadow palettes I declutter, this isn't a number exercise. This is more or less me curating my collection so that I've got something more appealing for myself. So yeah, if you're interested in that, then definitely keep on watching. So let's start off with Milk Cosmetics palettes. So this one is the Gemini palette, and this is probably my favorite out of all the Milk Cosmetics palettes that I have. So that's what this one looks like. I do love the color story of this one. One of the problems I have with Milk Cosmetics shadows is the shimmer. And because there are only 2 shimmers in this palette, I tend to use it more often. So I'm gonna keep this because, you know, I like it. Like that, I've got the Smoke Session palette, and this one I didn't get along with because there are more of the shimmer shadows than they are of the matte shadows, and I don't really like the formulation of the shimmer shadows. I feel like they're very thick, they're not the easiest to blend, and I quite frankly didn't really enjoy using this palette. So I am going to sell this one. She's leaving. And I still have the packaging of this. As I mentioned, I will be listing them on Depop, but if you follow me on Instagram and you see any of these palettes, you're interested, you can message me. But I am going to sell this. So that's Declutter. Next, I have this one from Sigma. This is the Warm Neutrals palette. And I bought this because I originally had the smaller Warm Neutrals palettes, and I did enjoy that. Now, I've only used this palette maybe once or twice. No, maybe think about twice. You can see that there are a lot of the shades that haven't been used, but the shimmer shades have been used. The only colors that I loved are the shimmer shades that I used, which is this one and this one. And this was alright, but honestly not the best quality. I feel like there's better from Sigma, so I didn't particularly enjoy this one. And it isn't one that I am so keen to go back to, so I'm going to be selling this one as well. So that's leaving my collection. Up, I've got this one from Trixie Cosmetics. This is the Bottle Blonde eyeshadow palette, and this is what the color story looks like. You've got neutrals, purples. The shimmer shadows on this is gorgeous. Definitely reminds me a little bit of the Norvina palette, which as a matter of fact, I'm going to put in the frame so you can see. It reminds me, doesn't mean that it's like a dupe, but I feel like some of the tones kind of remind me, and I feel like it's one that would complement because you've got some darker tones here, and these ones are more like the washed out versions. Like this one and this one kind of remind me, but this is a matte. That's like a semi matte shadow type of thing. Anyway, it just reminds me of the Norvina palette, but this isn't going anywhere. I absolutely love Trixie Cosmetics formulation, so yeah. Of Trixie Cosmetics, the Plant Gay palette. This is the most recent eyeshadow palette that they've come out with, and this one has some of the most beautiful shimmer shadows as well. I do have a review of this, and as well as the Bottle Blonde on YouTube. This is a really well put together eyeshadow palette, with the exception of the pinks, because I don't really like pinks. All the greens and the aqua shades and the brown, gorgeous. So definitely keeping that one. Plus the packaging is just so cute. So keeping it in the packaging, and I am keeping that eyeshadow palette too. Almost forgot that I have another melt palette. This is the Blueprint palette, and this is what it looks like. And I did enjoy this palette, despite me saying that the shimmer shadows um kind of pissed me off with melt. I feel like this one was okay. I feel like it wasn't as grainy, and as you can see, I did get quite a lot of use out of it. Plus, yeah, I feel like it was a lot easier to manage than the Smoke Sessions palette. So I'm gonna keep this one. Oops, sorry, hitting the camera. Let's do ABH palettes. ABH palettes are some of the most difficult for me to work with. Not work with, like to get rid of, because I absolutely love collecting them. First one is the Sultry palette, which is one of my favorites. Beautiful neutral tone eyeshadow palettes, the shimmer shadows. This one called Cyborg Noir, very beautiful, not going anywhere. Prism palette. I do want to do a range of makeup tutorials using older eyeshadow palettes, so I'm gonna keep quite a lot of these. This is one that I recently pulled into Shop My Stash, and the shimmer shadows were gorgeous. I absolutely enjoyed using it. The only thing I didn't like too much is I felt the need to pull in some other shadows to support it, but the formulation is still gorgeous, so I'm keeping it. You know, Jackie Aina palette is not going anywhere. This is one of my top 5 eyeshadow palettes of 2021. I don't even know if it came out in 20. You know, I can't remember. Being in lockdown, all the years, all the months all feel the same, but this is definitely gonna make it to my top 5 eyeshadow palettes. Keeping, basically. And Norvina palette that we talked about just now, I've only started using some of the shimmer shadows. This is newer to my collection. I believe I did haul this in summer, but I haven't used it as much. Definitely keeping, not going anywhere. I told you guys, like when it comes to my ABH palettes, it's difficult. Kali Bible. If I was going to get rid of any of them, it would be this one, just because I feel like the tones are not made for my skin tone. But to be honest, I bought it mostly for the shimmer shadows. This one called OA. It just, is it OA? It looks like OA. It just looks really interesting. My Angels as well looks really interesting. Keeping, I haven't even used it, so Riviera. I don't even think I've used this. No, I have not used this. This was a gift, and I don't know if I'm gonna use it or I'm gonna sell it. So I'm gonna put this in a maybe pile. I know because you can't get it, so I need to think about that one. My Soft Glam palette is not going anywhere. I literally pulled this into my quick, easy, brown, girl-friendly eyeshadow palettes. I love it. I love the formulation. I love how easy it is to use. I reach for this all the time. Keeping. Subculture is not going anywhere. Though I haven't used it as much as I wanted to use it, I feel like at this point it's so old that even if I try to sell it, like who's really gonna buy it? So default keep. And then I've got the Amrezy palette, which is newer to my collection. I think I purchased it the same time as the Carly Bible, probably, on the Norvina palette. Again, have I used this? Probably not. No, I haven't used it. It is gorgeous. I kind of wish it was like the same size as the other palettes, but no, I have used it. Like this one looks used to me. I'll probably reach for this color for a look or something, but it's not going anywhere anyway. The only thing I don't really like about the palettes is that it feels rough to touch, but I will get rid of the box. Like, no. Next up, let's do some Lime Crime palettes. So I've got the Venus 2 palettes, which looks like this. I believe I got rid of the original Venus palette and I hung on to this one because the shadows look really interesting to me. But have I used it? No. So she's leaving. Lime Crime Greatest Classic. I love this one. I recently did a tutorial here on YouTube using this eyeshadow palette. I think it's one of my fall autumn inspired looks. This is just me in a like, yeah, keep, let's not say much. Let's do Huda. So I've got these Huda mini palettes. I do have quite a few of them. So Topaz Obsession is a newer palette. I got the opportunity to work with Simply Be, their beauty range, and I got a chance to pick palettes. So I picked this one because it looked like a fall type of eyeshadow palette and it was so easy to use. Definitely keeping. Ruby Obsession is a gorgeous beauty. I'm so upset with myself that I haven't really dipped into these palettes this year, but it's classic, easy. To be fair, I used to travel a lot with these eyeshadow palettes, but with the pandemic and everything and not being able to travel, I just haven't had the opportunity to really use them. This is the Emerald. I love this one. So I'm keeping it. The Mauve Obsession is one of my faves, which looks like that. See, used it, but... And then a Nude Rich is another gorgeous one. Looks like that. I love the packaging on these ones. Keeping. Okay, so I have some randoms. I've got the Nabla Cutie palette. This is not going anywhere. These two shadows in this palette is sexy. I created a really beautiful silver brown smoky eye that I am so in love with, and every time I look at this palette I remember that look. So definitely keeping. The Viseart Dark Edits palette is my small but mighty palette because this baby packs a punch. Oops, see my camera. I love it. The color is just stunning. I travel a lot with this one. Well, used to travel a lot. I'm going to get rid of the box. So I'm keeping that one. And then I've got the Xthulye Living My Best Life. I'm going to get rid of this one because I have other neutral eyeshadow palettes from Makeup Revolution that I really want to use. This is a really good, and I mean it, this is a really good, affordable eyeshadow palette. I feel like Xthulye did an amazing job with Lottie London. And this one I've repurchased into my collection several times. And yeah, I love it. It's so beautiful, but right now I'm trying to stick to eyeshadow palettes that are not repetitive as much and kind of downsize on the ones that repeat quite a lot of colors. So we're gonna get rid of that one. Next batch, I've got the Day Day Signature quad eyeshadow palettes. If you haven't seen my review of this, definitely check my channel. I will link some of these as much as possible so that you know, you can watch the video. But this is the coconut palette, which looks like this. This is definitely one of my favorite neutrals from the range, so I'm keeping this one. Blueberry as well, beautiful blue. Definitely the iridescence of that shimmer shadow is, oh, I don't use it as much as I should, but I remember the quality is amazing. Avocado, beautiful green, love, very easy to use. I think there's only one that I'm not overly excited about, which is, I think it's this one, the peach one. Yeah, I mean, that color is gorgeous, but everything else not really for me. So I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. And then I've got the passion fruit, which is stunning. Gorgeous. Look at that. That orange is, ugh, yum. Okay. Okay, so up next we've got Thrive Cosmetics palette. This is the only Thrive Cosmetics palette that I have. And this is the Perfect Eye palette. And I did enjoy this. I do love this. This is so easy. This for me is my perfect travel palette. The shimmer shadow, sorry, the highlighter shadow, which also doubles up as a shimmer, is absolutely gorgeous. This is a beautiful setting um eyeshadow. Like you could create a really nice neutral look using this. I do enjoy this palette, so I'm gonna keep it because yeah, fun memories with that one. Wine and Only from Colourpop. I am going to keep this one. I do like the formulation of this shadow here called Grapeful is very beautiful on the lid, so definitely keeping this one. The Star Wars, did you guys hear that they've just announced a reveal of the Star Wars collection? I'm not gonna lie, I am so interested. In as much as I've only used this shadow once, I still want the entire collection. So no doubt keeping this one. I'll probably get rid of the box now, but I'm gonna keep this one as well. And then the Midas Cosmetics and Drench collaboration. This is the Genesis eyeshadow palette. This is a beautiful, well curated brown girl, dark girl friendly, anybody friendly really eyeshadow palette. You've got some very beautiful blue tones, neutral tones. Perfect. Keeping. I've used this eyeshadow palette so many times and I will continue to use it because I enjoy it. So I'm keeping that one. Like I've passed the stage in my life where because something is limited edition and no longer available, I'm gonna get rid of it. No, I'm not doing that. If it works for me, if I enjoy it, then I am going to use it because there are people out there who purchased it and made it a limited edition. So yeah. Huda Beauty Desert Dusk. I'm not even gonna lie, I buy these Huda Beauty palettes and then I don't really get into them. Like I don't really use them. And I don't know what the reason is. I really do not understand why I do that to myself. I would rather use the minis than this one. So this is a maybe. I might get rid of this because to be fair, yeah. Let's put in the maybe file with the Riviera because I don't know. I haven't used it, so really, well, I haven't used it that much. I have used it before. Anyway, the Rose Gold Remastered palettes. This one I enjoyed. I think this was the first one that I purchased and I created lots of looks on Instagram and then since then just didn't anymore. But I remember this being a really good eyeshadow palette and I did enjoy the looks that I created with it. I think what I need to do is pull them into Shop My Stash next year because I'm definitely going to continue that whole Shop My Stash series because it really did help me go through a lot of my eyeshadow palettes. So I'm going to definitely keep this one for now. I'll probably keep the Desert Dust to be honest and Shop My Stash it. Uoma Beauty. This is the Black Magic Allure palette. This is the one with the greens and the gold. So beautiful. I love the shimmer tones in this palette. I love the neutral colors. This is a very beautiful formulation from Uoma Beauty. This particular eyeshadow I enjoyed, so I am definitely keeping this one. On the flip side of that, I didn't particularly enjoy the Savage palette. I got this as part of a campaign, not a campaign, but a YouTube video for Look Fantastic, and I haven't used this since then because I don't really enjoy the color story. I don't think that red and blue are friends, and there was just nowhere for me to go with this palette, so I'm going to declutter this one. I'm gonna sell this one, and the money that I make from the products that were sent to me, I am going to donate. I do have lots of charities and stuff like that. I don't need to bore you guys with that, but integrity is a very important part of me. So Don't worry, if they were gifted, money is not going into my pocket. Zoeva Blank Fusion. But just on a last note on that, I do buy a lot of eyeshadow palettes. Only a fraction are gifted. So yeah, just to put that out there. Zoeva Blank Fusion palette. This I got in a box of 3 shadows, and clearly see I haven't used this one because it isn't for my skin tone, and why I decided to hang on to it I do not even know. I should have just sold it because I purchased this from TK Maxx, and I just, yeah, leaving. The second one is the caramel melange. Again, I don't know why I hung on to it. It clearly isn't for me. No. So going beautiful, don't get me wrong, but the color stories are just not for me. And then this one I've used. This is the Cocoa Blend. This one is more my skin tone. Yeah, we've got some darker tones in there, beautiful browns, and all of that good stuff. This is the only Zoeva palette that I have, but do I use it? No. So it's also going. All that for nothing. Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette. I love this palette. I get along with it. I love the formulation, love the matte shades, love the shimmer shades. This is a really good, easy, everyday eyeshadow palette with pops of color. So we're not gonna linger and definitely keeping. Let's do this one. This is my El Barrio Terra Moon Cosmetics. Sometimes I feel like I'm not pronouncing these properly, but I do apologize. This is what it looks like, and I haven't used it ever since the 2 videos I did on Instagram, which is really poor. I need to use it because it is very beautiful. The formulation is amazing. Quality is amazing. Sturdiness of packaging, amazing. All right, so some of you are gonna think that I'm crazy, but this is the ColourPop So Jaded palette, and this is the one with collaboration with Kathleen Lights, and I didn't enjoy this palette. I don't know. I just personally didn't enjoy it. I'm not gonna dwell too much. It's beautiful color story, blah blah blah. I just didn't enjoy it. It was too much of an effort for me. Yeah, so she's leaving. basically let's do Tarte. So I've got a few Tarte palettes. I've got the Tarte Toasted palette, which looks like this. This is one of my favorite neutral eyeshadow palettes. Perfect all year round in my opinion. I use this quite a lot and I absolutely love it. So that being said, I am definitely keeping this one. And then I've got this one. This is the Tartelette in Bloom. This is the more cool tone version, and I've used this in the past, so I just, I got it again from Tarte. Thank you. And I do like this, and I have my moments when I use this. Normally use this alongside the Sultry palette from ABH, so no brainer keeping. I've become like that neutral girl. That neutral girl that wears more neutral palettes than colors. I know, I've become her. This is Ofra's eyeshadow palette, like face palette thing. This is called the Mini Mix palette in New Solstice. And the highlighter in the middle, I believe, is Rodeo Drive. Yeah, Rodeo Drive. Like, that's how much I love Ofra. I already know, even without looking at it. This is gorgeous, 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 easy, one and done. I need to use more of these palettes, so I'm definitely keeping because I love Ofra. I do have a discount code now with Ofra, you guys, so Medeaij will get you 20% off your shop. I know, it's crazy. Speaking of Ofra, I've got this giant, gorgeous eyeshadow palette. Is it eyeshadow face palette or both? This is a Soul palette and looks like this. Oh, stunning. Those highlighters are gorgeous. So the highlighters we have are Soho and all of the lights. Ofra makes the most beautiful eyeshadow palettes, like, and highlighters as well. Like, these highlighters are gorgeous. I believe these are brow shades, but you use them on your eyes. Blush, eyeshadows, just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Keeping because I just need to use them more, and I feel like I could easily travel with this and I'm all right. So Pro palettes. I still have some Tarte palettes. So this one is the Tarte Pro palettes. This is for me a classic neutral palette. I don't think I'd ever get rid of this palette unless it's really old. So gorgeous. I like it because you've got all the mattes on this side, and then you've got pops of shimmer on the right hand side. It's just really easy to use. So I'm keeping that one. Then this one I haven't used enough of, and this is the Pro Remix. So similar to the Pro, you've got more shimmers. This is like mostly shimmer palette with pops of matte. So you've got 1, 2, 3. I don't even think I've used this at all, so I definitely need to make use of this ASAP. Keeping. Okay, so my Pat McGrath palettes, I tell you now, none of them are going anywhere. So at this point, I'm only just showing you. So this is the Mothership Mega Celestial Divinity palette. And I think I can get rid of the package. What do you guys think? I don't know. I think I might keep the package. I don't know, but this is a gorgeous. I just love the color story. I think the only criticism I had, which I did do a video of this, is there are not that many matte shadows. You've only got 3 matte shadows, and the deepest is this one. It would be nice to have a darker matte shadow, and I think the shimmer shadows is where Pat McGrath shines. I feel like her shimmer formulation is amazing. Amazing. So we just need more mattes, Pat. Definitely keeping that on. This is the what's this one? I normally keep them in their packaging just so I know which one it is. This Mothership 1 Subliminal eyeshadow palettes, and if anything, the only criticism I have about these palettes is the packaging. I love the black packaging, and to be fair, I'm more than happy for it to just be a plain black packaging. I just need the name of the palette engraved like this on the side or something. Like, so if you watch part 1, you'd have seen the Night and Day Revolution Pro palette. This is the one it dupes, and it's pretty close. pretty close. I did a side-by-side comparison on my swatch page on Instagram, and girl, let's just say that I wish I knew before purchasing it, because I would have saved myself some coins. But it's all love. I love it all the same. And then this is the Mothership 2 Sublime palettes. I think this is the one I haven't really used a lot of. No, this one I've used a lot of. Like, you could tell, like, I've used this one. Beautiful matte and shimmer shadows. Again, this is where Pat McGrath excels in terms of the shimmers. We only got 2 mattes here, and then the rest have some shine or semi-matte nature. Still love it. Gorgeous. So this one is, this is the recent one to me. No, this is not it. It's the pink one. I'm chatting shit. So this is the Mothership 5 bronze palettes. And yeah, I pulled these into, how it's helped me is I've pulled them into Shop My Stash recently, and so I have been getting quite a lot of use out of them, and I am so in love with how easy they are to use. One and done looks for work. Honestly, you guys, sometimes quality over quantity. I'm telling you now, quality. And that's why I only want to keep eyeshadow palettes that I enjoy or want to use, not because I should keep them. Anyway, this is the Mothership 8 Divine Rose 2. This is the one I purchased for my birthday. I did do a video. Oh, I still have the nylon on it. And I have used it a few times. I absolutely love this palette. It's so pretty. So pretty, girl. So pretty. Like, this is so pretty. So pretty to me. Just gorgeous. Gorgeousness. And then the last one is this one, which came with the banged up packaging, which is really annoying. And this is the Mothership 3 Subversive. Looks like this. I don't even, okay, I've used this one a bit. Again, 2 matte shadows. Most are either shimmers or dual chrome, that type of thing. Gorgeous still. All right, so that's all the eyeshadow palettes on that level. I'm gonna pop all the ones that I'm keeping back into my storage, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like, and then I'll tell you how many I'm keeping and how many I'm decluttering. So the only one we've got to talk about now is the Riviera palette, and I think I've decided I am going to sell this one. Yeah, she's leaving. Okay. Okay, so this is all right, so this is the shelf now, so the second layer, and it's looking good. I'm not piling eyeshadows on top of themselves, all lined up, and that's looking pretty darn good. So I'm very happy. Let me give it a count and we'll see how many I'm keeping and how many I decided to declutter. All right, so I decided to keep 45 eyeshadow palettes, and let's go over to the ones that I am decluttering. These are all the eyeshadows that I'm decluttering, 11 in total this time around. So yeah, they're gonna be going to new homes. Hopefully, I will list some of these on my Depop. But as I said, if they're still available, you can go ahead and message me on Instagram. But yos. So if you enjoyed this declutter video, you can go ahead and watch part 1 if you haven't. If not, I'll catch you in part 3. Thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you do enjoy declutter videos, beauty videos, lifestyle, luxury, all of that good stuff. And I will catch you in a future one. Remember, God doesn't like ugly. Be nice to someone today, and Black lives will always matter. And I'll see you soon. Bye.